What is going on, y'all? Gamers Goon here today with the last Bears mock draft, maybe? I don't know. Maybe I'll do another one. I don't know. But the Bears, only 4 picks in this draft, so you might be thinking, this ain't going to be a long video. I don't know if it will be or not either. I really don't. But we're going to enter in the draft. Obviously, number 1, we don't even really need to talk about. Caleb Williams is the guy. I know people I caught a lot of strays from people being like, you said he had big shoes to fill. I meant in terms of being the leader of the Bears. I think Caleb Williams will be a better player than Justin Fields long term for the Chicago Bears. He is set up for success. I think Caleb Williams probably is going to be the best QB in the Bears history, if we're being honest. He's set up better than any of the Bears QBs before. You look at Caleb Williams, loved what he said the other day. I loved what he said the other day. He was talking about how he wanted to be one place for 10, 15 years. He wanted to chase Tom Brady's legacy of winning Super Bowls. I love that mentality. I know a lot of people question Caleb Williams' mentality. That's not something I question. I know he wants to come in. I know he wants to win. I know that's number 1 on his agenda. I know that. Caleb Williams, we're happy to have you in Chicago. The keys to the kingdom's yours. I was in Chicago the other day. I flew there because I had a delay, actually. So I had actually connected to Chicago when I wasn't even supposed to be in Chicago. And I was landing in. I was like, this is Caleb Williams City. This is Caleb Williams City. I'm getting excited for Caleb Williams to come to Chicago. We're ready to get behind you, man. We're ready to get behind you. We're ready to see this team go to the Super Bowl. I mean, you said it yourself. You want to chase number 12. You want to chase Tom Brady's legacy. You want to be somewhere for 10, 15 years. That is something the Bears fans have been asking for a long time. We want a long-term QB. We don't want none of this 3-4 years and switch again. We want a long-term quarterback here in Chicago. You can be the guy. You got obviously you have a great resume to put on, obviously at Oklahoma and USC. And you're probably playing with the best talent you've ever played with Keenan Allen and DJ Moore. So we're excited to have him. So Caleb Williams, number 1. We're not going to talk no more about it. Here we go. Caleb Williams there. Malik Neighbors goes before Marvin Harrison. I probably should have turned this on slower, by the way. I probably turned it because ultimately I'm actually going to restart this whole thing. How do I do that? I'm going to restart this whole thing because I set it up incorrectly. Because I'm going to have the Bears also trade up. From 9. So everything I said about Caleb Williams, still intact. But we're going to take, obviously, Caleb Williams here. Keys to the kingdom's yours. Congratulations. I still can't do it. I want to pause at 4 so I can trade up. With the Cardinals. I don't think Malik Neighbors goes before Marvin Harrison. I don't think that. So we're going to come in here, make it as slow as possible so we don't have any problems. 1 pick at a time. Please. 1 pick at a time. Maybe I'll even trade here. I'll trade here just so that I get it. Cardinals. We're trading 9. We're trading the Carolina pick next year. We're going to trade up. Is that enough? Is that the exact package? I don't know. We're trading next year's second rounder. We had 2 of them to play with. We're moving up to 4 for obviously Marvin Harrison Jr. Caleb Williams there at number 1. We don't need to be said about nothing else. Now we can put it on fast. But that's ultimately what I was trying to do the last few times I tried to do it. I'm not cutting any of that out either. I don't need to. Marvin Harrison. Bears are reportedly being aggressive and moving up for Marvin Harrison. They have the picks to play with it for a little bit. So why not go for Marvin Harrison? If you got the picks to play with, you want to go make Caleb Williams into something great, something special, go make him into something special. I'm actually going to pause again. Because ultimately, you know what I'm going to do? You might be looking at me like, what is he doing? Khalil Herbert. It doesn't say it here. You brought in DeAndre Swift. You have Roschon Johnson. Those are 2 players that I think are going to get a lot of time next year. Khalil Herbert, I think you have to re-sign him soon. It's going to be tough to find him time. So, With that being said, you're going to look for one of these teams that might need maybe like a Panthers. I don't think you're probably going to trade with the Panthers again, though. I mean, obviously, last time we kind of stole a lot from the Panthers. Titans, obviously, they have no Derrick Henry. We're going to give them Khalil Herbert. I ain't asking for number 38. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. But I will ask for something like this. I just don't want to accept. Or maybe I pressed the wrong button. Either way, Khalil Herbert. We're going to ask for 106 and 242. Offer trade. It's going to be denied probably, and we're going to force the trade anyways. Because that's what we do here. But we're going to play the reality of Khalil Herbert being traded. So we pick up that pick, and they get Khalil Herbert. Somebody's going to get traded. I think we're going to pick up picks. I think we're going to have to pick up picks, and 106 being one of them. 106 being one of the picks we're going to have to pick up. Obviously, like I said already, Khalil Herbert kind of just doesn't factor into any long-term plans. Tough because I really like Khalil Herbert, but ultimately doesn't make much sense to have him on for much longer. You need more darts to the dartboard. We kind of talked about it last time around. We're going to talk about it this time around. Darts for the dartboard. Devontae Walker here is tempting if I'm the Bears. Obviously, you just took receiver Marvin Harrison. You got a three-headed monster now, so you don't need him. Running back Jalen Wright is definitely in play after trading your starting, or well, I mean, maybe your second or third string, whatever, a starting caliber running back in Khalil Herbert. But defensive line, you're going to need some defensive line help. Defensive tackle is an option. Brandon Dorlus sitting there. Obviously, last year with Javon Dexter, you kind of got a lot of production there out of him. Zach Pickens being his backup. Edge rusher, somebody I would definitely be in the lookout for if I'm the Bears. Braylon Trice, somebody I love. I think Braylon Trice is very underrated. I love Braylon Trice, man. You look at him, 8-9 sacks the last 2 years. Disruption is production kind of player. That's all you need to hear out of him. I think he's being kind of underappreciated here in this draft process. I think he's a top. I'm going to say it. This might sound wild to you because you're looking at him. He's a third-round pick at best in this mock draft, in the PFF's grades and all that. Watching him last year, man, he dominates. He dominates the games. He felt like a first-round player. It says it even right here. He is an NFL caliber player and should be picked in the top 50. He is sitting here as the 98th player on the big board. I don't like that at all. I don't care what nobody says. I'm going Braylon Trice. I'm trusting my gut. I saw him a lot last year because obviously Oregon. So we played him twice, and I also got to watch a lot of Washington games because we were obviously watching our rivals. Braylon Trice, absolute impact player there. I think he's very good. I think that kid should go a lot higher than he's going to go. I feel bad for him. I really do. Then we're going to go, it's kind of just been routine for me is to take Cooper Beebe. He just fits perfectly into our offensive line. You're looking for a guy that could start if you're the Bears. Cooper Beebe is a guy that could start, which is good. 3 years of good production there. Played a high level there at Kansas State. 1 point was a top first round pick kind of guy. Not there. You need depth. You need depth when it comes to the offensive line. You might even need starters. You need a lot when it comes to that offensive line. You need guys that are going to come in and compete. I know they did bring in some guys in the offseason they're going to be pretty solid backups, but you don't really have as much depth as you would want. You don't have somebody that could really push for a starting position. Cooper Beebe might be one of those guys that could push for the starting position, really add some conflict in camp and try to shake things up on that offensive line, which ultimately you're going to need with Caleb Williams there. So we're going to go Cooper Beebe. It's tough for me to go Cooper Beebe here. It really is because you still do, I think, even though last time out we did take Braylon Trice, I still think you need to add some more defensive players, maybe even a defensive tackle here if one's sitting there. I still think you need to add to that pass rush because last year it was just Montez Sweat, really. And, he was there for how long, and he led the team in sacks. It's ridiculous from him, but we're going to go Cooper Beebe. Just too good a value for me to pass up on. We're going to pick at 122. Jacob Cowan, tempting. Really want to take him. Running back, tempting here as well. Braylon Allen, somebody I like out of Wisconsin, had a pretty solid year. We should be able to see what Braylon Allen did last year, but he had a pretty solid year. Almost 1,000-yard rusher the 2 years before he was. Obviously, playing at a Wisconsin team, kind of known for having that good running program over there. He could be an option for us. Maybe you wait. Maybe go get a guy like Garindo, kind of something different than what you already have. But you don't really have much time to wait. Let's see who's willing to trade. The Ravens, I don't. Could we maybe do like this with the Ravens? Maybe 165. Oh, we can't do that. All right, let's see what the Jets have. Maybe they got a. Yeah, maybe we can do this. Maybe that's what we can do. We're going to offer that trade, and it's going to get accepted. So we got 2 more picks in the top 200. We do have to trade down like 12 picks for it. Let's actually go back up and see what the Jets did with that pick. The Jets took DeFondre Sweat, who would have been maybe in consideration if there wasn't some off-the-field concerns with him. But I don't think the Bears are going to go after him, honestly. Running back, like I said, was definitely an option. Our guy, Braylon Allen, no longer there. We're okay with him falling, though. I'm not desperate for a running back here. I mean, obviously, we got 2 starting caliber running backs. I mean, maybe 1 if you don't count Roschon, but I really like Roschon's game. I think he could easily develop into a starting caliber running back. Mason Smith, somebody I really liked in the draft process. I mean, not the greatest years last year, but 6'6", played as a freshman. If he can reach his full potential, maybe it's something special there that you get out of him. Ultimately, you're not going to find a defensive tackle here that's probably going to take over Javon Dexter. Mekhi Wingo, also to that LSU team, only 21. Maybe he's the guy. We're gonna go Mekhi Wingo. We're gonna go Mekhi Wingo here. Somebody to compete with Javon Dexter, Zach Pickens, and them. But I think we definitely are going to be looking at maybe a defensive tackle here in this class. I'm going running back. I don't care. Isaac Garendo's still there. This kid, he's fast, man. He's fast. Solid season last year. Kind of that not a plug and play player, but kind of that change of pace guy that you're going to have in there. I mean, it's something different than what you already got. Which I think is the selling point here with Isaac Garindo. So we're going to go with him. An absolute freak athletically. I think he's going to be very solid in the NFL. I know he's not necessarily rated super high for PFF, but we're going to take him. We're going to gamble on Isaac Garindo, and then the last pick in the draft. Caleb Williams obviously being on the team. Caleb Williams is obviously on the team. Don't love the backups. Maybe Joe Milton, big arm. Maybe. Maybe we look at safety. I mean, obviously Kevin Byard, he's there, but he's new. Maybe we look at him. Maybe we do go linebacker. I mean, we have a stacked linebacker room, but we typically like to go linebacker at some point. Maybe we go offensive line because we're going to need one. We're going to need a decent offensive line next year. Frank Crum out of Wyoming is an interesting pick, by the way. If he's ever going to load. Not great, but he's 6'7", 315. Not great in terms of like his production the last few years. But big guy. Maybe the Bears think they can mold him a little bit. Jonathan Jennings out of USF. Once again, we're going to look over here. Big guy. A little bit better last season than Crum. This is tough. Because, I mean, which offensive lineman would you want to go? I'm going to go Frank Crum. Out of Wyoming. Let's go with him. Let's lock him in as a Bear. He is coming to Chicago. Frank Crum, clap it up. Good job and good night. This is your Chicago Bears 2024 draft class right here. It's coming up in just a few seconds. Learn more about your reward. I don't need to learn more about my reward because all I need to know is that they graded my draft as hopefully a good grade. I should have drafted Brandon Dorlus instead of Braylon Trice. They did not like the Braylon Trice pick, but I love it. I love Braylon Trice. I legitimately would take Braylon Trice in the top 50. I know it said it there, But I would legitimately, at one point in this draft process, I was considering taking Braylon Trice in the first round to some teams. I love Braylon Trice's game. I know he's rated to 98, but Braylon Trice, I think, is going to be a steal for some NFL team. And it might be the Bears. Might be the Bears. 2 first picks graded A pluses, obviously. Braylon Trice, they didn't love it, they didn't hate it. Cooper Beebe, they liked it. Mekhi Wingo, they liked it. That's good. Garindo, they didn't love it. Frank Crum, they didn't love it, but they didn't hate it. So they graded my draft an A. Not bad. Not bad. I'll take it. If this is the draft we get, I'm going to be smiling year to year. I'll be honest with you. With 106, if you pick up 106, so you get Cooper Beebe and Frank Crum, you get 2 offensive linemen for Khalil Herbert. I'll take it. Because I think Cooper Beebe could come in and be somewhat impactful. Year 1. Mekhi Wingo, somebody that we kind of talked about, could be impactful. Year 1. But ultimately, I don't know if you're getting a defensive tackle to play over Jerron Dexter year 1, but I do think you need to add some depth there at minimum in this class. So we came into this draft with 4 picks. We traded up. We used a pick next year to trade up. And it looked like maybe we were going to have 2 of our 4 picks inside the top 4. We trade up and get Marvin Harrison. We didn't let anybody else take Marvin Harrison but ourselves. Marvin Harrison to Chicago. I know you're looking at me. That seems unrealistic. You think that the Texans model is going to work for the Bears. I know, but there's some serious rumors going around about Marvin Harrison in Chicago, man. Caleb Williams already said that he didn't say it, but it was reported that coming into the season, Caleb Williams wants them to. They made it clear that they need to have a supporting cast around him. What better supporting cast than Marvin Harrison Jr.? What better supporting cast? Thank you for watching. You will probably see. You might see this today. You might see it tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see when I get it uploaded. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. NFL Draft's right around the corner. Thank you for watching. I will be doing a recap of the first round, probably on Friday. I doubt that I'll do it on draft night. I'll probably be tired. But thank you for watching.